Well, hello there. Welcome back to Survive the Wild. And if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. So, what's happening? We, as of midnight tonight, are going into lockdown 3. Scotland went into it last night. They closed the border between England and Scotland, and also making it illegal to travel into Scotland. So I'm certainly not going there. Although the past week or so I've been living on the border of Tier 4 and I've not been able to go where I'd like to, so hence these new videos for now. So what I'm trying to do is, like I say, I'm restricted, really restricted to what I can do, where I can go, like the majority of us. But like in the lockdown that we had back in March, I can go for a walk for exercise. And what I thought I'd do is I'd take you along with me, and I'll show you some of the more interesting places that I can walk to from my house, well, flat where I live from. These videos aren't going to be for everyone. They're not exactly survival type things, but like I say, I'm stuck with what I can do and where I can go, so I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation. So hopefully you enjoy these videos, and yes, come along with me. Today I'm in the Loxley Valley and I'll tell you a little bit about it on the way. This section of the river here is very heavily stained with iron, and some of it's natural and others it's there used to be a few mills. I mean, this is the source of some of it, as you can see there. And behind me is one of those mills. Like I say, there wasn't many steelworks on here, but that was one of them. We've got this gorgeous mill pond that's been left back to yeah, kind of given over to nature. Well, it is, because it's one of, you can't fish in this one. Many of the mill ponds around Sheffield have been, people are allowed to fish in. This is one of the few that you can't. Well, it's been a while since I was last here, and that is new. There's a big corkscrew that's running through. There's water going down. I think it's a little power generator. Interesting. Very interesting. Bit of hydroelectricity going on, maybe. Using the old weir. Oh, here we're walking through another one of the mills from the bottom end. There's a load of stonework that's still left here. Some chunky stonework. Although they've seriously upgraded this path that runs through here. I think this area here was another mill pond back at some point. So the valley gets its name from the river Loxley. So we've got the river Loxley and the Loxley Valley. There's a name you might have heard of, because just up the hill up there is Loxley House, which is supposedly at the site of a former castle, of Loxley Castle, which also is supposedly the birthplace of a legendary outlaw, Robin Hood. Now this is heavily contested between sort of like Yorkshire and Nottinghamshire, whereas they claim, the legend of Robin Hood, and yes, that is where the majority of the legend is told in Sherwood Forest with his band of merry men that used to rob from the rich and give to the poor. But his birthplace was here, or more importantly, just up there. But whether there's any truth in the legend, there's probably some, but I'll leave that up to you to decide. But this valley is famous for another reason, a little bit more of a disastrous reason as well. On March the 11th, 1864, after a particularly rainy few days, the weather had got even worse. One of the local engineers had gone out to the Dale Dyke Dam, which is just further up here, and he'd noticed that there was a crack in the dam wall. Now, it wasn't a stone built dam, it was basically a mud made of earth and sod, and he'd sent word basically downriver to say they needed help to try and shore up the dam. Unfortunately, by the time that word had got there and the men had got back up to the dam wall to try and help, it was already beyond repair. The engineer was on the far side, and apparently all of a sudden the dam wall collapsed, and millions upon millions of litres of water then escaped and was sent tumbling down river. Now, as the torrent of water ripped down through the valley, it destroyed and severely damaged 600 homes and factories, and killed at least 240 people on its way. And unfortunately, the engineer who was on the dam wall at the time, his body was never recovered. And that day went down and would be known to be the day of the Great Flood of Sheffield. Now, they did rebuild that dam, and it changed the way that dams were built. And today, the dam that is there is called Dam Flask, which is where we're heading now. Now, if wildlife is your thing, then this pond here that's by a, I'm pretty sure it's a dairy farm over there, is a really good spot. You don't suspect you're going to be able to see him, but just on the other side of the bank by the hedge there's a heron over there, but there's loads of ducks and quite a few gulls as well. But I think there's a swan on here and some geese, and I've seen tufted duck, quite a few different species. But yeah, although to that side of me it couldn't be more different. You got this horrible Harris fence that's trying to keep people out of that old industrial site there. So this area has one other little claim to fame. Some years ago I used to do short films, and right here is the location of one of those films that I used, and I'll just show you. It didn't look quite as bad as this. It wasn't, I can't remember if all this Harris fencing was here. This was one of the closing scenes. It was a sort of like a post-apocalyptic style film that I did, and had a soldier coming down here, and or was it coming down? No, I had my two main casts coming down here and the soldier coming down this side, and yeah, it made for a good atmospheric sort of look of it. God, look at all this rubbish that's just been dumped. Empty toolboxes, deep fat fryer. What a load of mess. from a rubble site, that big rubble site. That's from your cowboy builders. But yeah, this spot had a really atmosphericness to it. Just added to that bleak post-apocalyptic world. If you're interested in watching it, I'll put a link in the description. I think it's about 17 minutes long, called Evac. Yeah, it was the first. Oh no, it wasn't the first one. It was the first one that I wrote, directed, and pretty much filmed. Did most of it. Apart from, I did have a sound engineer with me, boom guy. So yeah, it's quite atmospheric walking around here. Well, if you're into your fishing, here's a nice spot. I think it's called Loxley Fisheries. Well, you do have to pay to be here. It's private, and you have to listen to the hum of some water treatment plant. Yeah, it'd be a nice way, peaceful way to spend your day. Well, I've walked up about as far as I can up the valley. Just behind the camera is the dam wall, and it's quite a spectacular dam wall. From here you have to turn left or right. I'm going to turn right and head up towards the dam itself. This be the end of the walk. Well, I say something a little bit different. Hope you've enjoyed it. You know, especially for those who sadly can't get out at the moment. I thought, while I can get out, I'll take you along with me. I know these videos might not be for everyone, and certainly not what I kind of usually do, but like I say, I'm a bit restricted to what I can do. So until service, normal service resumes, yeah, I'll do a few of these. I think they're enjoyable. Well, for me, gets me out. I need to lose some of the old podge that I've developed from after Christmas. So until the next one, guys, bye for now. I'll leave you with this nice peaceful scene of the water.